Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So it's Sunday, bright and early, daily discipline, mind, body, and soul. This is how we get through. For those of you who are new to the channel, every Sunday I do a little study group for warriors. For all you warriors out there who need a little bit of extra mindset training. Some motherfuckers don't need it. You guys are sleeping in. Sleep in. Sleep all day. Be comfortable. Some of us are up. I'm gonna bust this video out. I'm gonna eat me a healthy breakfast, and I'm gonna go to the gym. I got my daily discipline lined out for me, my program lined out. I'm busy today because I'm working on myself. The warriors, we don't take days off. Let's just get into this shit. The first thing that I wrote down is the process is greater than the product. The process is greater than the product. This can be said in many ways. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. That's one that bikers know all about. I get on my bike, I'm not thinking about where I'm going, I'm just going. The point of it is just to go. I may have an idea in mind, maybe I'll end up at Tim's house or down at the coffee shop or wherever, but how I get there and the timeline, it's really just all about the ride. Things can change and it doesn't matter. Oh, maybe I'll just go this way. Maybe I'll go do the loop instead. It's all about the journey. That's where the fun is in the journey. Lotto winners. It's so funny because everybody wants to win the lottery. Everybody wants to be rich. You motherfuckers that win the lottery go broke quick because you don't know how to handle your money. You don't know about the process of earning money when you win the lottery. You don't learn the process of wealth, of what it means to become wealthy. Wealth is a process. It's not a gift. It's a process. And the reason why I say that is because people who give money to their grandkids, generational wealth, these Rockefeller types, they didn't win the lottery. Lottery motherfuckers don't hand down money to their grandkids. Your great grandkids aren't living off that 40 million you won in the lottery. You spent it all on cars and houses and bullshit because you're an idiot. You got to pay your dues. You got to have your nose to the grindstone and to every day learn the ins and out of a business before you can be the boss. Everybody wants to be the fucking boss, but nobody wants to do what it takes to get there. And if you put some little unexperienced person in a leadership role, that whole team falls apart. I've seen this shit happen. A buddy of mine, he was a prospect for the Outlaws Motorcycle Club. And he finally got his patch, and it was the greatest day of his life. Like a lot of these guys really look forward to that kind of moment. And within just about a year, dumb luck, this guy got lucky as shit. And he was a rather inexperienced guy. He wasn't a street cat. He was just some dude who wanted to join a 1% club. He didn't really have a lot of, I'm not trying to badmouth him, he just didn't have a lot of sophistication. So, long story short on him, there was an arrest, there was a murder, there was somebody who got cancer, and next thing you know, their little club needed a VP. And Tim, homeboy Tim, just got put in the club last year, 10 months ago. Now's the VP, 10 months, went from prospecting to vice president. He did not know how to have an administrative role, to have a leadership role, an officer's role. You take a grunt and make him an officer, what the fuck does he know about being an officer? Every single officer was a grunt and went through the ringer. This guy hadn't been through the ringer. So when he got to VP, all of a sudden shit starts falling apart. Long story short with him, that motherfucker caught 15, federal prison, and who knows what happened to him. Let's go on to the next one. Don't destroy your future by running from your past. Don't destroy your future by running from your past. Now this could be taken two ways. If you focus too heavily on your past, if you're living in the corners of your mind, not being in the here and now, looking forward, you're looking backwards, always on your timeline, always thinking about the shit that happened to you, then you'll destroy your future. You'll miss out on your future. Your future will pass you right by. I watched this happen with myself. I had to finally just get up off my ass. Stop fucking dwelling on the past. Stop licking my wounds. Stop holding grudges. Forgive myself. Forgive others. You want to start with forgiveness on a Sunday? You want to be a man? Father's Day? You call yourself a father? You want to be praised? Here's a lesson for you fathers. Forgive your father. That's what you do today, is you forgive your father. Everybody's going to give you gifts and happy Father's Day in your head. Forgive your father for being apathetic. Forgive your father for being too hard. My father abused me, beat me. I got in fights with my father, beat his ass. I beat my father up at age 17 and threw him into a fire pit with fire in it. He jumps off and, brushes himself off. My dad was a big, bad gangster who killed people. My dad was a murderer. And a 17-year-old punk beat his ass. Fair and square. All you guys out there trying to be macho say, well, your dad probably let you. I will whoop that punk bitch's ass. You have to forgive this shit. I forgave my father for all those fights, for being a deadbeat, for being the worst father that ever existed in fatherhood. I forgave him for that. And until you can forgive your father, you will remain a little boy. You will remain in the past. You will remain a fucking child. You want to be a man? Be a man today and forgive your father for everything. Join the hierarchy of man, God, the Father. You can be underneath that, but you'll always be a little boy. You'll be below the mother. It goes God, the father, head of the household. God's always at the top. The father is the head of the household. Then the mother comes underneath the father. And then the kids come underneath the mother. You, without forgiving your parents, are stuck underneath your mother. Right now, you're a child. Grow up. Grow up today. The other way that you can take this, don't destroy your future by running from your past, is a little bit more nuanced. And you really want to focus on the word running. The key is to slow down. See, a lot of us are trying to snowball downhill. We want to get towards our goal. This kind of ties in with the last one. All these are going to be connected. A lot of people are trying to run so fast from point A to point B. You got to follow me here. That they miss out on their true greatness. Because your greatness isn't just a solid destination that you can say, okay, there it is, and we have to get there. With everybody that I've ever talked to that's successful, and myself included, you may start off with a goal, with a dream that motivates you and gets you moving forward. But as you go towards this dream, this goal, you course correct. You adjust. I never thought that I'd be making handlebars. If you asked me 20 years ago, I thought I was going to just do choppers, this Jesse James shit forever. I made $100,000 last year selling handlebars. It's not a bad gig. I never knew I would end up doing this shit. Never in a million years. So you want to slow down so you can find your greatness. Let's go to the next one. This is connected. These are all connected. Finding out who you are takes your whole life. Finding out who you are takes your whole life. See, there's who we want to be, and we can force that on the world. But who you want to be isn't really who you are. That's just your ego and your narcissism and your fantasies and, your training and conditioning and, what society thrusts on us. Brainwashes us into who you really are is more organic, more raw, more honest. And a lot of us, most of us, I say all of us, let me just go all the way with it. You will take your whole life to create this person. So many people out there are frustrated that they're not moving fast enough to create themselves into who they want to be. You'll never get there. I'm not trying to discourage you. This is why the first one is so important. It's the process that matters. You may find out who you are on your deathbed with your last breath. And if you do, if you're lucky enough to have that last breath just be like, You know, I created, who am I? I'm the man who created this family. I'm the man who created this wealth. I'm the man who's passed on the lessons to those youngins. Find out who you are on your deathbed and work hard every day towards it. This next one is a quote. We're going to have to dissect it. The guy said, film develops in the darkness. Now, you digital fucking camera people, little boys out there, anybody under 30, you have no idea what I'm talking about. There's film that we used to put in cameras. A camera used to open up and you'd put film into it and you'd have to take the pictures. The film was a silver halide chemical compound on, like an emulsion on a little strip of plastic, and with the light would, you get it, you Google how cameras work. Fucking, we used to have cameras. I used to take photography classes in college when I went to community college. The darkroom is where we would develop the film. You could send it to the drugstore and then pay the money, but we would develop it ourselves. I turned my bathroom in my apartment when I was younger into a dark room. You could do it all, but it has to be a dark, solid dark room. Any light that escapes in, I learned this when I was creating the dark room in my bathroom. Any crack of light, even the smallest bit, is going to expose the film. The film will, the light will find that film. It has to be dark. There's special lights. When you go into a dark room, they have special colored lights that don't affect the film, so you can kind of see. But film develops in the darkness. These beautiful Ansel Adams pictures, probably the best photographer who's ever existed. Go look at some Ansel Adams photos. He's really amazing. Those photos had to be developed in darkness. That greatness had to be created in darkness. Your greatness is created in the darkness. I got a few more. I could stay on some of these for a long time, so let me move on. Be okay with not being finished. Or, here's the added on part, or torment yourself with desire forever. Be okay with not being finished, or torment yourself with desire forever. So, this is why it's so important to fall in love with the process, with the journey. Because many of us, I know for myself, I speak for myself, create really high goals. I don't just have little mediocre dreams. My dreams are huge. Dreams of greatness. I don't know. I'm not trying to be unconfident. I don't know if I'll ever get there, if I'll ever actually reach my goals. I'll strive as hard as I can to get there, but I don't know if I'll get there, and it's okay. It's okay if I don't, because I'm in love with the process. The people that are so focused on the destination, who aren't in love with the process, torture themselves, because reaching that destination, it may never come. The version of yourself as you're going towards that lofty goal will become tighter and tighter and stronger, and you're becoming amazing. But in your mind, you're still not there yet. Be okay with not being there yet. Let's go to the last one. This one kind of fits with the Father's Day theme. Are you wearing your daddy's shoes? I heard that quote. I just thought that was interesting. Are you wearing your daddy's shoes? You know that game you played when you were a little boy of wearing your dad's shoes, and you got little tiny feet and your dad's shoes are real big, and it's fun to play, like pretend like you're an adult. Maybe you put on his clothes, and you know, little games little boys play. Pretend to be daddy. There's a lot of grown men pretending to be daddy. You see, a lot of motherfuckers pretend to be too hard. They act like they're too hard. They have this fake image. They think they're fucking Rambo or Clint Eastwood. True strength, somebody who is truly strong can allow themselves to be vulnerable. Some of the most hardest, strongest men that I've admired, that I've looked at as being the toughest people in the world, physically and mentally tough, have also had such a confidence in themselves that they can be raw and vulnerable And to a sucker that may appear like weakness, but it's not. It's true strength. To be willingly vulnerable is true strength, because you can pick up that sword anytime you want. Don't get it twisted. Take my kindness for weakness. Happy Father's Day.